Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Rebel Racing Network and the American Esports Racing Association Cup Series. I am your commentator tonight, Austin Householder, and we are coming to you live from Auto Club Speedway, a 2-mile oval located in California. Or, I should say, was located in California. It has been torn down, but it has been brought back to life with iRacing here tonight, and we've got an exciting one for you guys. These drivers will be competing for 135 laps tonight. The weather, it is partly cloudy, 75 degrees. The track temperature sitting at a whopping 97. Going to be slick out there for these guys. And you just saw a couple cars getting into the wall there. Those cautions are going to be on everyone's mind, and we have got a full field tonight. Right now, 27 cars registered for this one, possibly a couple more coming. That is going to make things interesting. And looking at this field, we saw a lot of shakeups throughout the race last week at Daytona. And I think just about any driver in this field has a shot at winning tonight. David Joyner did take the win last week, but right now Seth LaCroix is sitting on top of the leaderboard throughout practice with a best time of 39.73. So you see Omar Rodriguez Jr. getting loose there coming off of pit road. Speaking of pit road, the rules for tonight's event, these drivers are going to be given 6 sets of tires, 75% fuel, and as always, no quick repairs. And with that 75% fuel, the pit window looks to be about 40 to 50 laps for these drivers. So it's going to be a 2 pit stop race. And I think everyone's going to have to be concerned about exiting pit road under green. We were speaking to a couple of the drivers. There is a bump there that if you hit that bump while trying to accelerate to get back up to green flag speeds, you are going to lose control of your car. And I think that's what happened to Omar Rodriguez Jr. there. And we've got Lisa Shank entering the chat, as well as Stephanie Hill. Glad to have you guys here. About 4 minutes left in practice. We're going to go ahead and step aside for a moment to allow you to meet our American Esports Racing Association Cup drivers. right, and we are back, folks. Big shout out to Tate Productions and Dawson Price for that intro video. We appreciate having them on board as a sponsor as well here at Rebel Racing Network. We're going to go ahead and give you guys a quick update on our point standings. Once again, leading the points is David Joyner after his win last week. Wesley Carter sitting in second with 50 points. Joseph Miller third in points with 45. Tristan Haynes tied for third with Joseph Miller. Joshua Edmonds in fifth with 41 points. Dawson Price in sixth with 40 points. Nicholas Warner in seventh with 39. Benjamin Smith Sr. in eighth with 38 points. Omar Rodriguez Jr. currently ninth in the point standings with 36 points. And Cooper Liardi sitting just inside the cut line for the chase in 10th with 35 points. You see here we have even more trouble on pit road. That's Connor Price going around as practice has come to an end, and these drivers are going to start their qualifying run. Seth LaCroix had the fastest lap throughout practice. We're going to see if it's going to carry over to qualifying. And Lisa Shank rooting for Ben Smith Sr. in that 11 Toyota. He's one that we've got to keep an eye on. He has shown speed throughout all of the recruitment races as well as last week at Daytona. We're going to see how he does now that we are off the super speedways, although the draft is still going to be in effect here tonight, just not quite to the extent that we would see at a super speedway. As we check in with Russell Abbott in the 4 car taking the track for his qualifying run. And you guys can see the difference on the track. It is now fully shaded as we are getting into the evening. Practice, the temperature was sitting at 75. Quick look at our weather here. That temperature's now dropped down to 72 degrees. So these track temperatures cooling off, a little bit less slick, and we're going to see how this affects these guys going into their qualifying runs. Once again, it is late afternoon. That sun will be going down as this race goes on. Our first couple times coming in, Alex Pelican with a fast time here, 39.7, 0.3 of a second faster than anyone else who has laid down a time. And as more times roll in, Alex Pelican still sitting in that pole position. Here comes Nicholas Warner, his second lap fast, 39.968, but not quick enough to get past that 13 of Alex Pelican. Jonathan Dominic's laying down a time here, 39.85. He now sits in second. Alex Pelican, second lap, not quite as fast. And Edmonds putting down a quick time as well, 39.96. Just edges out Nicholas Warner for third. Ben Smith Sr. just crossed the line. His second lap, about 5/100ths of a second slower than his first. He's currently sitting in ninth, and we've still got, looks like, about 8 drivers left to qualify here. But time is winding down, and we are going to head down trackside for our opening ceremonies presented by Ura Flyovers. At this time, please stand as you are able. Remove your hats, place your hand over your heart, and veterans render a hand salute as the United States Marine Corps Band performs our national anthem. All right, and we are back, folks. A big shout out to Ura Flyovers for creating our opening ceremonies. Once again, reach out to them on Facebook if you are interested in getting flyovers custom created for your broadcasts. But qualifying has come to an end, so we're going to go ahead and run through our official starting grid. And starting on the pole will be that 13 of Alex Pelican. Jonathan Dominic's going to be starting second in the 45. Dawson Price will be rolling off third, driving the number 24. Josh Edmonds will be starting fourth in the 17. Connor Price will be rolling off fifth in the 48. Nicholas Warner is going to be starting sixth, driving the number 3. Curtis Stamford will be rolling off seventh, driving the number 26. Last week's winner, David Joyner in the 85, will be starting eighth. Tristan Haynes will roll off ninth, driving the 02 car. Joseph Truskowski is going to be starting 10th in the 57. In 11th, we have Hunter Geyer driving the number 2. Starting to his outside in 12th will be Tyler Green driving the number 10 car. And rolling off 13th will be Seth LaCroix driving the number 88. Ben Smith Sr. will be starting 14th, driving the number 11. Joseph Miller will be rolling off 15th, driving the number 16. And in 16th, we have Mike Hill driving the number 27. Starting 17th will be Dave Mayberry driving the number 29. Omar Rodriguez Jr. will be starting 18th, driving the number 92. Cooper Liardi will roll off 19th, driving the number 7. And 20th, we have Chris Jones driving the number 6 car. 21st will be Russell Abbott driving the number 4. 22nd will be Wesley Carter driving the number 23. And in 23rd, we have Nick Hames driving the number 31. Rolling off 24th will be Eric Rodeman driving the number 96 car. And starting 25th will be Sheldon Phillips in the 55. To his outside in 26 will be James Hartley driving the number 8. And Dalton Steele will round out your field in 27th, driving the number 71. The cars now making their way down pit road for their parade lap, and we have got a full field here tonight. And it looks like the stands are getting filled up as well. A couple more fans rolling in. Donald Bussier rooting for his boys Josh and Seth. Hunter Geyer, who should be on track right now, entering the chat. Hunter, put down the phone. Don't text and drive, buddy. You're going to need both hands on the wheel for this one. And Graper rooting for Ben Smith Sr. as well. And I am just now realizing Lisa Shank, not Lisa. I've been mispronouncing that. I do apologize, Melissa. Well, we are going to go ahead and change our focus down to the track as they make their way down the back stretch. And Matt Grubb entering the chat rooting for Sheldon Phillips and James Hartley. But it is Alex Pelican starting from the pole. Jonathan Dominics, who I do not believe made Daytona last week, but he is back with the Rebel Racing Network. You guys might recognize him from the Nora days on Rebel Racing Network. Some more familiar faces joining us here as that pace car is off. And the green flag is out, and they are off. Alex Pelican leads him to the green flag. He gets a nose out in front of Jonathan Dominics. Pelican going to move up the track. They're on a block there, trying to kill Jonathan Dominics' momentum. Pelican going to move right back to the bottom as they're 3 wide for third. So Dawson Price now going to move to that second place position. Jonathan Dominics falls in line there in third, as Josh Edmonds and Connor Price have got it now worked out for fourth and fifth. Top 5 gets single file, but we've got one on the move already. That 57 of Joseph Truskowski showing some speed here early. She drives up to that rear end of Connor Price. And David Joyner also making some moves up to 6th. But the biggest mover so far, Wesley Carter in that 23 Ford Mustang. He is up. He had moved up 6 positions. Gets caught there in the middle. He's going to drop back to 18th, but Carter's showing some speed early on. And back up to the front of the field, Alex Pelican still in control of this one. Dawson Price trying to hang on. And we are going to move down for a Creative Castle. Crank it up. And we are back. A lot of action on track. Still, most of the field getting single file. But David Joyner, Joseph Truskowski, that 85 and that 57, still battling it out. Seth LaCroix on the move, though. He's gotten by those two. LaCroix now up to 6th after starting way in the back in 13th. So LaCroix, struggling throughout through qualifying, has found his speed. And more 3-wide racing as here comes Hunter Geyer in that 2 car. He works his way around Joseph Truskowski, pushing David Joyner around as well. And Vanita Price entering the chat, rooting for the Price boys. And those two are linking up here. Connor Price and Dawson Price have met up. But Jonathan Dominics went back to 2nd. Connor Price putting the pressure on his brother there. And Connor wants that podium position here early on in the race. The battle has heated up for the lead. Jonathan Dominics to the inside of Alex Pelican. Dominics now to the lead. Alex Pelican falling to 2nd, but he's going to try a crossover move here. Pelican not going away. He was wicked fast throughout qualifying. He opened up that gap early on. I think he's maybe wishing he would have saved a little bit more tire here as Jonathan Dominics was able to run him down. And Pelican stuck on that inside line. And you see Pelican all the way down on the apron trying to shave as much time off as he can. But Connor Price showing the speed as well, and he's looking to enter the mix. And looking back at the pack, you saw Hunter Geyer hopping out of line as well. And Alex Pelican in the outside wall. He touches the wall. That opens up the door for Connor Price to get inside of him. Dawson Price thinking about going with them. Dawson Price is going to stay high, but Connor Price now moving up to second. He's gotten underneath Jonathan Dominics as well. An excellent run for that 48. Not quite enough to get by Jonathan Dominics. Now Alex Pelican going to hop out of line and get to the inside of Connor Price. Connor Price slow up near the wall. He had to let out of that gas just to try and keep that car off the wall. He's going to cross over now. He's back to the inside of Pelican. And Jonathan Dominics has got to love seeing this in his rearview mirror, watching these two battle it out and burn up those tires. Dominics trying to get his first stage win of the season. And look out, because Seth LaCroix still sitting back there in 6th. Joshua Edmonds in 7th. We've got a whole train of Apex Racing drivers all itching to get to the front of this one. Another big mover here. Ben Smith Sr. making his way up to 12th. Tristan Haynes getting by him for the time being, though. Ben Smith showing some speed here early on. And one thing I think we are going to see out of this 11 car is we're going to see him start moving back towards the front as this one goes on. A little bit of a slow start for him, but guys like Joseph Truskowski, Hunter Geyer, known for their aggressive driving style, are going to eat up their tires early on in this one. As you see Truskowski all the way out near the wall, and Ben Smith Sr. closing that gap with that 57 car. Going back to the front, Jonathan Dominics firmly in control of this one. It looks like Alex Pelican has held off Connor Price as Joshua Edmonds has now moved to that 3rd place position. Connor Price having to take a step back. He's got those tires hot and angry. It's all that battling for that 2nd place position. But Joshua Edmonds slow and methodical, making his way to the front, and teammate Seth LaCroix in tow. And moving to the back of the pack, Sheldon Phillips. He's got some fans in the chat here tonight. Appears to be off the pace. Looks like he is just trying to hold out until this first stage break and get that car worked on under caution. Back to the front, Jonathan Dominics losing a little bit of ground to Alex Pelican. Pelican's slowly making his way back up, trying to take that lead back. Pelican's going to have to make a move fast because he's about to get a mirror full of Joshua Edmonds and Seth LaCroix. LaCroix looking to get underneath of his teammate Joshua Edmonds, trying to take away that third position. And they are doubled up back in the pack. It's like Nicholas Warner trying to get... Oh, Nicholas Warner gets into Hunter Geyer. Hunter Geyer goes spinning. Geyer into the wall there. That's going to bring out our first caution of the night. Some heavy right front damage to that 2 car. We're going to go back, take a look at that one. That 3 of Nicholas Warner looked like he just got into Hunter Geyer there, possibly going up the track. We'll go back and take a look at this from Nicholas Warner's point of view. Warner moving up the track. I know Hunter Geyer not going to be happy about that. He's already had to pull that thing down pit road, and the pits are not open yet. But Alex Pelican coming down pit road. Joshua Edmonds, Seth LaCroix. Looks like most of the field going to come down pit road. So far, only 3 staying out. Jonathan Dominics, Dawson Price, Nicholas Warner staying out. Looks like Dave Mayberry going to stay out as well and hold off on tires till the end of this run. Alex Pelican taking 4 tires, while the Apex drivers looks like they're only going to take 2. So Seth LaCroix going to win the race off pit road. Connor Price comes off pit road second. Joshua Edmonds in third. Alex Pelican losing 3 positions on pit road. But be careful, he does have 4 fresh tires. And we will step aside for a quick commercial break.
At FedUps, we don't care how it gets there, just that it eventually does. We use cutting-edge technology like guesswork, blind rage, and the occasional coin flip. Need help? Our customer service is standing by to put you on hold. Our drivers are trained professionals in rage quitting, road rage, and minor parkour. Have an issue? Hey, we delivered it, didn't we? At FedUp, we're not happy until you're not happy. Special instructions? I ignored it specifically. Signature required? We'll scribble something. Fragile? Let's test that theory. Customer service? Try screaming into the void. FedUp, we hate your package almost as much as you do.
FedUps is not responsible for damaged, late, lost, or completely incinerated packages. Batteries not included. Actually, nothing's included.
Every race car starts the same. Just a shell, waiting for identity. Because every car can race, but not every car gets remembered. Custom. Bold. Built to stand out. Bird wraps. Don't just race, be remembered.
All right, and we are back, folks. They are doubled up, getting ready to go back racing. Jonathan Dominics will lead them to the green flag. Dawson Price will start to his outside. Nicholas Warner, he was caught up in that last one, restarting third. Dave Mayberry in fourth. Seth LaCroix will round out your top 5. And Destiny Hartley rooting for her dad, James Hartley, in that number 8. Enter in the chat. Glad to have you here. James Hartley currently sitting back there in 21st, but he is up 5 positions from where he started. As the pace car is off, we get ready to go back. Green flag racing. Green flag is out. Jonathan Dominic's waiting until the very end of that restart zone to go. Not getting a great launch. He is able to get out in front of Dawson Price, and now he's got that car up to speed. But look out, here comes Seth LaCroix on the inside. LaCroix on 2 fresh tires. He's going to go around his teammate Dawson Price, who is blinking. LaCroix hugging the bottom there. He has gotten up to that rear bumper of Jonathan Dominic's. Dominic's moves down low. Comes across Seth LaCroix's nose. That might kill LaCroix's momentum. LaCroix going all the way to the bottom of the track, and he will clear Dominic's going through turns 1 and 2. Dawson Price hanging on to second for the time being. Dave Mayberry there running third. Connor Price and Josh Edmonds, though, chomping at the bit. Connor Price getting alongside Mayberry. He will clear him. Mayberry going to move up in front of that 57 of Joseph Truskowski. And Edmonds not really getting going here. And Bubba rooting for James Hartley as well. He's just hanging out in the back for the time being. Looks like he is just trying to avoid some of the mayhem that could possibly happen here. Only 7 laps till the stage break. Oh, trouble. Omar Rodriguez Jr. and Joshua Edmonds. Oh, Rodriguez Jr. going to go flying. As they bring it down to the infield, green flag is still out. And it looks like we're going to remain under green flag conditions, as they're both going to get it going before the leaders get around to them. And we do have to go back and look at that from Omar Rodriguez Jr.'s. Rodriguez Jr. gets airborne but lands on all 4 tires. One more look at that. And it looks like 3 wide. Rodriguez Jr. just nowhere to go. I'm curious to know if that has even hurt the car there. Or Omar Rodriguez Jr. I don't think Josh Edmonds got into anything. Maybe just a little bit of dirt on those tires. Seth LaCroix still in control of this one. Now Alex Pelican, I was just mentioning, or just about to mention, Pelican seemed to be struggling there in the middle of the pack. He's on 4 fresh tires. We expected him to be able to drive to the front pretty well, but that car appears to not be handling as great in the dirty air. And Stephanie Hill entering the chat, rooting for the 27 of Mike Hill. Mike Hill currently sitting back there in 18th. You guys might notice these door-to-door guys all running Monster Energy paint schemes. And if I'm not mistaken, they were created by Hunter Geyer and Bird Raps Paint Schemes. Go ahead, check them out on Facebook or Instagram. But the battle for the lead is back on. Jonathan Dominic's getting back up to Seth LaCroix. Dominic's to the inside, trying to pass that 88. And it looks like tires not going to be as big of a factor as we thought here. Looking at the pit stop laps here, these guys 18 laps of green flag racing on those tires. Jonathan Dominic's with 28 on his, and he is hanging right there with the likes of Seth LaCroix. Dawson Price as well.
Here's some music by LaCroix on Amazon Music.
All right, and we do apologize about that. It looks like Alexa wanted to be part of the broadcast as well. I think we got the mic muted before we get shut down for copyright infringement, though. And the battle continues. Now we've got the Price brothers battling each other for second as Jonathan Dominics refuses to go away. That stage break is about to cut. That yellow is about to fly for that stage break. Seth LaCroix holding on to the lead for the time being. One more lap to go. Here comes Connor Price now. As LaCroix is going to move to the bottom. Dominic's going to the high side. I think Dominic's may have overdrove that corner a little bit. He did not mean to go to that high side, but a little bit too ambitious battling with LaCroix there. And LaCroix is going to cross the line, and the yellow flag will wave. So LaCroix will win stage one. Connor Price in second. Jonathan Dominics comes out of stage one in third. Alex Pelican battles back to fourth. Dawson Price rounding out your top five. It looks like Lilybug entering the chat, rooting for James Hartley driving the number 8 car. Hartley currently sitting in 22nd. He is eager to get down pit road and get that 8 car worked on. And we will step away for a quick commercial break for pit stops.
From the track to the tech, Creative Castle keeps your code running as clean as your laps. We test real-world devices and digital platforms so your next release won't crash in turn 1. At Creative Castle, we elevate your software with expert quality assurance and cross-platform testing. Whether it's native apps or networked hardware, we deliver precision-tested performance at scale. Behind every smooth app and smart device is a quiet castle. Creative Castle. We're the quality wizards and test knights who battle bugs and break bad code before it breaks your product. Creative Castle. Quality at full throttle. Your quest for quality ends here.
All right, and we are back. Yellow flag pit stop's about to commence here. And here they come down pit road. Seth LaCroix leading them down pit lane. And it looks like just Hunter Geyer are going to be staying out here. So he tries to get one of his 2 laps back after going 2 laps down. Alex Pelican coming off of pit road. He's going to win the race off of pit road. Looks like he's only going to take 2 tires. Jonathan Dominic's taking 4. Seth LaCroix going to come off in second. So Alex Pelican now going to go back to the lead. Now, looks like a smart decision by him to only take 2 tires here and get that track position back. That tire fall off not nearly as drastic as we thought here at Rebel Racing Network. But we do want to check in with Omar Rodriguez Jr., who currently sitting on pit road. It looks like he may be getting some of that damage repaired. Omar, it's Austin up in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
All right, man. Take us through that incident with Joshua Edmonds there. What happened there?
From my point of view, it looked like he lost it when I was behind him, so I went to make a move around the outside, and he just kind of chased it up the track, and I was there. I had a car on my outside. I think the guy on my outside got into the wall, and once this car starts sliding, it just feels impossible to recover it.
All right. Well, it looked like you were almost going to do a great job of keeping it off the wall. How much damage did you have after that contact with the wall and going airborne?
2 minutes, 40 seconds.
All right. So it is a little bit worse than it looked here on the broadcast, but you got to be at least happy that after going airborne, you landed on all 4 wheels.
At this point, I'm happy I didn't get a big old meatball and last place points.
That is true. That could have been bad. So you would have still been able to compete with Hunter Geyer. He was heavily damaged after that first incident. But we're going to let you focus on what's going on track. And good luck the rest of the night, buddy.
Thank you. Appreciate it, man.
No problem, buddy. All right, once again, that was Omar Rodriguez Jr. looking to get back into this one as they are doubling them back up. Lights on the pace car are out. We're getting ready to go back green flag racing. So Alex Pelican is your leader. Seth LaCroix starting to his outside. David Joyner in third. Dawson Price will restart 4th. Jonathan Dominics will restart 5th. Connor Price in 6th. And Joseph Treskowski will restart 7th. That pace truck is off. Or pace car, excuse me. And the green flag is out. Oh, trouble. And the caution is going to fly. Connor Price, Josh Edmonds, Joseph Miller, Ben Smith Sr. caught up in this. Cooper Liardi. And not sure what exactly happened there. We're going to go back, take a look at this. But it looks like someone might have gotten checked up or spun their tires. And there you can see the mayhem there. They're all bunched up there. Everyone with nowhere to go. And it looks like Joseph Treskowski getting into Jonathan Dominic sends him up into the car to his outside. And we will take a look at it from Treskowski's point of view here. And it looks like Treskowski just trying to time the start. You saw him a little bit out of line, kind of in between the 2 lines there. And he just gunned it, and there was nowhere to go. He gets into the rear end of Jonathan Dominics. Alex Pelican going to bring that car down pit road. Seth LaCroix going to take over the lead. Tristan Haynes going to move to second. Mike Hill now up to third. Sheldon Phillips in fourth. Russell Abbott in fifth. Chris Jones running sixth. Curtis Stanford running seventh. So we wait to see what goes on in the pits. And Dakota Dennis entering the chat. What is up, Dakota? And James Price saying that was driver error. And I got to agree there, James. But Dakota Dennis, glad to have you in the chat, buddy. We're missing you in this one, too. You missed Daytona last week, and you're going to miss Auto Club this week. And we even missed you on Wednesday nights in the TCR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. When are we going to see you back on track next, Dakota? And Joe Smo rooting for Sheldon Phillips in that 55. He's currently fourth, and I got to go back and look and see if he came away without any damage after that incident. Riding along with him. He's at the tail end of the field for this restart. Sheldon Phillips, maybe some contact with that 17 of Josh Edmonds, but I think he made it through there pretty clean. Take one more look at it. Sheldon Phillips. But him hanging out in the back and not having to go down pit road, he's now got the track position. And it looks like Phillips may have gotten a piece of that there. It's hard to tell. But does not look like any major damage to that 55. So we'll see what he can do restarting from fourth. Try and get a little bit of a better look at it here. Yeah, definitely some damage to Sheldon Phillips. As we get ready to go back green flag racing, the pace car is off. Seth LaCroix will be leading them to the green flag. And the green flag is out. LaCroix going to take off. No problem, Joe Smo. And Dakota Dennis, he is a volunteer firefighter. Missing this one, some storms rolling through the area. He has been busy out there saving lives. But we are looking forward to seeing him back on track, whether it's Wednesday in TCR or here next Sunday night in Era. Seth LaCroix jumps out to that lead. He leads Tristan Haynes and Mike Hill are in the top three. Sheldon Phillips, not the restart he was looking for as he goes to hold off last week's winner, David Joyner. Joyner alongside Sheldon Phillips. Phillips hanging on here even with that right front damage. That's definitely got to be affecting the aero and the handling of that car. Once again, guys, the next stage break not till lap 74. So they will need to pit under correction. With that caution, they will not need to pit under green flag conditions for stage 2. So only one green flag pit stop tonight. We got a bunch of 3-wide racing back in the pack there. David Joyner now catching up to Mike Hill. Joyner, one of the ones that pitted there, I do believe he is on fresher tires. He's definitely got the speed, though. Alex Pelican looking to catch back up as well. Pelican nowhere near as strong in that dirty air. And an update on Ben Smith Sr. He currently sits on pit road trying to get some damage repaired, as well as Connor Price and James Hartley. So it looks like some nights done early on here as David Joyner trying to charge back to the front. He has gotten around that 27 of Mike Hill. And Sheldon Phillips has got to be thinking about maybe coming down to pit road under this next caution to get that damage repaired. He stayed out for the track position, but I think that he didn't realize how bad that damage to that right front was. He is falling fast here. Restarted in 4th, back to 11th now. So we see the 23 of Wesley Carter going under Sheldon Phillips now. Cooper Liardi looking for a place to go. And Hunter Geyer now pulling that 2 car down pit road. He caught a black flag coming down pit road and missed his pit stall. The problems continue for the 2 of Hunter Geyer. And Josh Edmonds caught up in that incident on that restart. He is back up to 8th here. Not seeing a whole lot of damage to that 17 car. So it looks like at the low speeds, all this damage that happened under that caution or on that restart was repairable for most of these drivers. Seth LaCroix definitely taking advantage of this. He is opening up that gap 0.3 of a second between him and Tristan Haynes. Him, Haynes, Joyner, and Pelican opening up that gap. Mike Hill in tow as well. But definitely some space back to Russell Abbott in that 4 car. As here comes the 3 of Nicholas Warner and the 17 of Josh Edmonds. And the caution flag is going to fly here. Dawson Price is going to go around. Looks like Chris Jones also caught up in this. We'll go back, take a look, and see what happened here. It looks like Chris Jones just coming down, getting in into Dawson Price. Dawson not going to be happy about that one. We'll get a look from another camera angle. And Dawson Price definitely not going to be happy about that one with Chris Jones, but pit stops have commenced. Alex Pelican going to stay out, as well as Nicholas Warner. Seth LaCroix and the rest of the field coming down pit road now. And these varying pit strategies, I think it's going to pay off for that 13 of Alex Pelican. He is very dominant once he gets out in that clean air. And these tires, not the factor we thought they were going to be tonight. So live look at the pit stop lap. Looks like Pelican last pitted on lap 36. We are now up to lap 48. So only about 12 laps of green flag racing on those tires. Correction, if my calculations are correct, about 10 laps of green flag racing on those tires. That tire fall off not going to be huge. So Alex Pelican sitting in a pretty good position to try and squeak out a win in stage 2 here. Only about 15 more laps left in the stage. So our running order now, Alex Pelican in first, Nicholas Warner in second, David Joyner running third, Seth LaCroix in fourth, Josh Edmonds running fifth, Wesley Carter in sixth, Tyler Green in seventh, Dave Mayberry in eighth, Tristan Haynes running ninth, and Joseph Miller rounding out your top 10. And James Price wanting to watch the sixes in car. I think we can make that happen, James. That was from the nose. We'll move down to his gyro cam here. The 6 definitely moving down on Dawson Price, who's still sitting on pit road, trying to get that damage repaired, but his night might be done for the... But back on track, they are doubled up. We are getting ready to go back green flag racing. This is our 4th caution of the night, 3rd one for cause. So they come off of turn 4 here. That pace car is going to dive to the pits as Alex Pelican will lead them to the green flag. And the green flag is out. Alex Pelican waiting to the very last minute in that restart zone. But he is going to get the jump here, go out to an early lead, move up in front of Nicholas Warner, trying to get a good entry to turns 1 and 2. David Joyner battling on the inside. He gets around Nicholas Warner as well. And here comes Joshua Edmonds. At 17, you see a couple drivers hitting that outside wall. Edmonds going to settle in behind Seth LaCroix. Seth LaCroix, keep your eye on that 88 car. I think he is one of the few cars left in this field that has not taken any sort of damage. So LaCroix looking to get around Nicholas Warner here now, and he will clear him going down the front stretch. And correction, guys, it was about 25. Oh, caution, Ben Smith Sr. around, as well as the 31. Of Nick Hames. Nick Hames continuing to have issues here. We're going to go back, take a look, see what happened with these guys. You see him 3 wide. Nick Hames. Looks like Ben Smith Sr. just coming up the track did not realize Joseph Truskowski was to his outside as well. Nick Hames had nowhere to go. And we will reset the field once again. Alex Pelican currently being scored our leader. We're going to see if anyone decides to come down pit road here. I highly doubt it. And it looks like most everyone going to bypass pit road here. Chris Jones coming down pit road, though. Hunter Geyer still sitting on pit road. Looks like Geyer's night is done for. Connor Price sitting on pit road as well. Correction. Connor Price is off of pit road. He is back on track, but he is multiple laps down. And we will step aside for a quick commercial break.
It's race day on iRacing. The grid is set. Engines are rumbling. The chat is buzzing. The anticipation is building. But before the green flag waves, you need a moment that gets hearts racing. Hoorah Flyovers delivers cinematic, custom airplane flyovers for your iRacing or esports event, bringing real-world energy to your virtual track. Add a patriotic punch to your pre-race show, whether you're hosting a league championship, a memorial race, or just want to hype the crowd. Hoorah brings the thunder. Fully customizable, easy to book, stream ready, guaranteed to get your drivers and fans fired up. Because when the jets fly, everyone pays attention. Stand tall. Fly loud. Race proud. Hoorah! Visit Hoorah Flyovers on Discord or Facebook and bring the flyover experience to iRacing like never before.
All right, and we are back, folks, and I am here with Benjamin Smith Sr. Not having the race you were hoping for, Ben. I believe that was the second time you were caught up in an incident. What happened there?
I'm not quite sure what happened on that one. I'm not sure if I got too high up there. A little frustrated with the restart incident there, so I think I got too high. Not 100% sure.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of drivers feeling your frustrations with that restart incident. We definitely, on the replay, it definitely looked like you were coming up the track, and you guys were 3 wide. Did you realize y'all were 3 wide before that incident, or did you realize it a little bit too late there?
No, had no clue that we were 3 wide. Honestly, I was just trying to follow the line I've been trying to run all night. Thought it was just a second car up there. Thought he was going up too. So, fortunately, there wasn't much damage on that one. That restart incident gave me about 8 minutes. So now I think I'm like 8 laps down, something like that. So,
well, it's still a long race. Still, the way this one's going, you might get lucky and get a couple lucky dogs and get right back into this one. But we are doubled up, getting ready to go back green, so we'll let you get back down to the track, buddy. Thanks for talking to us.
appreciate you, buddy, as always.
All right, thank you, sir. And once again, that was Ben Smith Sr. looking to bounce back after that incident. And that 11 car looking pretty clean. And Kyle Capp saying he's here now. Look for Rodman to wreck on the next lap. That green flag is out. Alex Pelican, looks like some contact there with David Joyner on that restart. You saw Joyner shooting up the track. And Seth LaCroix going to poke his nose here in the middle. We're 3 wide into turn 1. And Joyner was cleared by Seth LaCroix. He's going to cross over, though. Now Joyner's in the middle, LaCroix to the outside. Joyner now with the nose out in front for the lead. Seth LaCroix going to get the run on the top side. He's going to lead this lap. And Kyle Capps saying that Rodman wrecks every time he joins the chat, but we are still green flag racing. Eric Rodman currently sitting back there in 18th. And LaCroix trying to go to the inside of David Joyner. Joyner throwing a block, but not going to stop LaCroix's momentum there. LaCroix now on the bottom line. He'll move up in front of Joyner, and I think LaCroix threw that block at the right time. That killed Joyner's momentum. He's not going to be able to get to the inside and try a crossover move on LaCroix that time. And Kyle Capps up in the chat, you may want to knock on some wood real quick. Do not speak too soon. But the top 5 have got it worked out single file. So we go back and look at the back in the pack. Joseph Truskowski trying to find a way around Tristan Haynes, but he has opened up that door for that 3 of Nicholas Warner to get up to him. And James Price rooting for Seth and Josh. It looks like James has to change up who he's rooting for. Unfortunately, both the Price brothers are laps down here. So Truskowski not able to get around Tristan Haynes, as that battle is getting ready to heat back up. Wesley Carter charging to the front here. He's gotten by Alex Pelican, who's struggling in this dirty air continues. And Carter now to the inside of Edmonds. Wesley Carter showing some speed here. David Joyner a little bit off the pace after Seth LaCroix finally cleared him. LaCroix out to a half a second gap. But here comes Wesley Carter. Keep your eyes on him. And Carter really coming out of nowhere. Got to double check here. He's not on any fresher tires than Seth LaCroix. His last pit stop on lap 47. So Carter, some newfound speed for him. As this track changes, it looks like it's really come in for that 23 car. So Carter now in sole possession of second. We're going to see what he's got for Seth LaCroix. LaCroix, the fastest car throughout practice. Just everyone jockeying for position behind him. And here comes Joseph Truskowski as well, now up to 5th. Looks like Edmonds and Tristan Haynes possibly getting together. Edmonds was out of shape. That's going to allow Joseph Miller to go by. Still too wide back in the pack. Joseph Miller moving up to the high side. Edmonds trying to get back to him. Haynes is going to get to the inside of Edmonds. Oh, we've got a slow car down low. Oh, the 10 goes around. That is a 10 of Tyler Green. That was Chris Jones there, the slow car down on the bottom, and it looks like he, just getting taken out by Chris Jones, or I'm sorry, Tyler Green there. Jones nowhere to go, and he's probably sitting there a little dumbfounded. He was slow and on the apron trying to stay out of everyone's way and still got caught up. We'll go back, take a look, see what happened here with Tyler Green. And it looks like he and Omar Rodriguez Jr. got together, almost saved it, but that car started sliding. Chris Jones locks up the brakes, just trying to avoid him. But some heavy left front damage to Tyler Green here. He will have to tow back to the pits. And James Price saying not to be negative, but he'd love to see a caution right now. And there it is. And Lissa Shanks saying a wild night for cautions. I've got to agree. I think we've had some wilder cautions than we had last week at Daytona here tonight. And Dawson will be getting his lap back here. I think the person who is most unhappy about that caution has got to be Seth LaCroix in that 88. Wesley Carter, who started 22nd, some newfound speed for him as that sun has gone down up 20 positions, is going to get pulled right back up to that rear bumper of Seth LaCroix on this restart. We're going to have about 10 laps before the stage break caution. And no takers on pit road. So now the running order: Seth LaCroix in first, Wesley Carter in second, David Joyner running third, Alex Pelican in fourth, Joseph Truskowski in fifth, Nicholas Warner sixth, Joseph Miller seventh, Josh Edmonds in eighth, Tristan Haynes in ninth, and Jonathan Dominics rounding out your top 10. And the lights on the pace car are off. They're going to double them up as we get ready to go back green flag racing. We're going to see what Carter can do from the outside line. He was making those passes on the inside. We'll see if he has practiced both lines or if he's going to fall right in behind Seth LaCroix on this restart. David Joyner going to get another shot at LaCroix as well. And do not count out that 13 of Alex Pelican. He is fast, especially on the shorter runs. Only 10 laps left in this one. We're going to see what he can do. He was charging through that pack. So now 20 cars left on the lead lap. And the pace car is off as we get ready to go back racing in this one. Seth LaCroix in control of the restart. And green flag is out. LaCroix going to take off. We saw Wesley Carter hanging back there just a little bit. He gets that car up to speed. He's going to fall in line behind LaCroix, right in between him and David Joyner. And here comes Truskowski. Truskowski all over Alex Pelican's back bumper. He's going to back off here. And the battle's on for second now. David Joyner moves to the outside of Wesley Carter. Alex Pelican looking to the outside as well. Looks like Omar Rodriguez Jr. in some trouble here, but we stay green flag. 7 laps left to go in the stage, and it looks like Carter's speed has run out, but David Joyner charging on that outside line. Joyner going to try to the inside of LaCroix. Don't think he's going to get there. And real quick, we want to go back and take a look, see what happened here with Omar Rodriguez Jr. on that restart. Rodriguez Jr. looks like he might have gotten a shot in the back from Liardi. That one turned out a lot better than the first restart with an incident. No caution flag. Looks like only 2 cars damaged in that. Has set LaCroix now opening up that gap here to about a half a second between him and David Joyner. Back in the pack, Wesley Carter's speed seems to be short-lived. He is falling now. He is back to 6th. There's someone moving in the opposite direction. Eric Rodeman up 11 positions now to 13th. He is showing some speed as he goes by Ben Smith Sr. there. And sets his sights on the 27 of Mike Hill. We go back to the front of the pack. Tristan Haynes just breaking back into that top 5. He's got his sight sets on Joseph Truskowski. Truskowski backing off of Alex Pelican, but David Joyner's caught Seth LaCroix now. Joyner to the inside. Oh, they touch. LaCroix hard into that outside wall. He's able to keep it straight. So Alex Pelican now going to go to the lead. LaCroix dealing with that right front damage now. And I'm not sure if they touched or LaCroix got loose. The arrow being manipulated by David Joyner there got Seth LaCroix loose, and Joyner wasn't expecting LaCroix to check up, trying to get that car under control. And we've seen Joyner and LaCroix battling back and forth for first or second. Seems like all night. Nothing but clean racing between them. Definitely looked like some aero. Now Tristan Haynes battling with Joseph Truskowski. Haynes to the inside. Truskowski getting the run off the outside, and here comes Jonathan Dominics. Dominics to the inside of Truskowski. Only 2 laps left in this stage. Dominic's gonna go by Joseph Truskowski. Truskowski slow there on that outside line. They're 3 wide. Haynes gonna fall in line behind Truskowski, and looky here comes that 23 of Wesley Carter again. He was dropping on that restart, but he's gonna battle back up to third. So it looks like once he gets that car going after a couple laps, he gets that speed back. And Sunk Track saying, why is Geyer always in the pits when he is here? Geyer caught up in an early race incident. And 1 lap to go. Alex Pelican in firm control of this. Jonathan Dominics about 0.3 of a second back, and Wesley Carter looks like he's going to hold on to third as Alex Pelican going to cross the line. And Pelican wins stage 2. And as they come around, I'm going to try and get an interview with Wesley Carter. Wesley, it's Austin up in the booth. You got me?
Hey, Austin, I got you.
All right, man. We've been watching you. Seems like the second half of stage 2. And seems like you came out of nowhere, up 19 positions to third at the end of stage 2, and you've got a lot of speed. Where did that speed come from?
You know what? I found my line. Turns out shifting, I haven't been shifting, just trying to save my tires, but we had so much trouble stage 1 that I said, you know, let's throw caution to the wind. We've had a bunch of cautions. So I just started shifting and trying to find that speed, letting the back of the car kind of work its way out, and we're flying.
Well, that speed is definitely come in there for you. Now, we're going into stage 3 here. You're going to have to make a green flag pit stop, and it looks like these guys, we're starting to get a little bit under control. Are you going to think about, are you going to be shifting all through stage 3, or are you going to wait and feel it out first?
If we have a caution within the first 10 laps, I might just start trying to send it. If we can keep it clean, I might just save my tires. And then if it really what it comes down to is I'm searching around trying to find whatever time I can put into it. So really it just depends on how fast our laps stay and where we're at.
All right, well, it sounds good. We appreciate you taking the time to speak with us, and we will send you back up to your team chat, buddy. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Once again, that is Wesley Carter finishing third. It looks like I'm not even sure if his car went up on the jack here. He is already rolling. Wesley Carter going to win the race off of pit road. Jonathan Dominics in second. Alex Pelican in third. A quick pit stop for Wesley Carter, now sitting in first. As the entire field coming down pit road, getting those cars worked on, getting some fuel in, trying to see how far they can make it into stage 3. And we will step aside for a quick commercial break.
Do you love Orlando's theme parks, but the long lines have you losing the magic? Introducing Ride Waits, the Apple Watch app designed to help you skip the stress and ride more, with real-time wait times and park info right on your wrist. Whether you're exploring Walt Disney World, adventuring through Universal Orlando, or taking it all in at SeaWorld, Ride Waits helps you navigate smarter and get the most out of your visit. No more wandering, no more guessing, just more riding. And it's not just wait times. Ride Waits also offers tips on the best times to ride, general park info, and helpful alerts so you never miss out on your favorite attraction. Whether you're planning ahead or making game day decisions in the park, Ride Waits keeps everything you need at a quick glance away. Ride Waits, your wrist-side guide to the best parks in Orlando. Available now on the Apple Watch store.
Not affiliated with or endorsed by any theme park brand.
All right, and we are back. They are doubled up, getting ready to go back. Green flag racing. Wesley Carter will lead them to the green flag. Jonathan Dominics to his outside. Alex Pelican in third. Mike Hill in fourth. And Joseph Truskowski is going to be rounding out your top five. We get ready to get this one back underway. And the gloves are coming off the third and final stage. So you see the drivers in the back trying to work some heat into those tires and get a run up here to the front. But I think all eyes need to be on that 23 of Wesley Carter. Looks like he has found something. I'm not sure these other drivers have quite realized that he is shifting. Trying to get around this one. We're going to see what happens on this restart. And that speed he has, it's starting from the lead position. He has the opportunity to open up a gap here as that pace car dives down to the inside. And the green flag is out. Wesley Carter getting the jump here. He moves up in front of Jonathan Dominics. Brooklyn Pearman entering the chat rooting for the Price brothers. But Wesley Carter, it is all him right now. Alex Pelican getting to the inside of Jonathan Dominics now. And they get it sorted out single file here in the front of the pack. Jonathan Dominics trying to find a way around Alex Pelican. Dominic's back to the inside. Joseph Truskowski just lying there and wait for one of these two to mess up. But it is all Wesley Carter out front right now. And he's got to love seeing these guys battling it out behind him. Now 55 laps left in this one. Once again, that pit window about 40 to 50 laps. So that pit window will be open up here pretty early on into this run as Alex Pelican going to the inside of Wesley Carter. Not quite enough there to get by him. And the caution is out. We try and figure out what the caution is for here. I don't see any cars turned around. Looks like caution for debris possibly. So they make their way around the track, and that caution waved here on lap 81. So about 54 laps left in this one. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a couple of these back runners maybe coming down pit road, get a few extra drops of fuel in that car just so they can spend less time on pit road under green if it comes down to that. James Price is saying all his favorites have run into issues here tonight, but the best league racing he's ever seen. I gotta say, this is some great league racing. Definitely one of the best we've had here on Rebel Racing Network. Waiting on Dakota to chime in the chat. No, I did not forget about TCR, Dakota. TCR also great league racing. These are our two top tier leagues here on Rebel Racing Network, ERA and TCR. Glad to have them both on board. So it looks like no takers on pit road. At least for fuel, a couple cars down there getting damage repaired. But looks like they're going to chance it. And honestly, we may be able to stretch this out if we continue to get cautions. The way everyone is racing in close quarters, there's a good possibility we're going to get a few more cautions before this one is over. And that may allow these drivers to save just enough fuel to make it to the end. So when they drop the green flag, Wesley Carter will be your leader. Alex Pelican in second. Jonathan Dominics in third. Joseph Truskowski moving up to fourth. Tristan Haynes rounding out your top five. They are doubling them back up, getting ready to go back green flag racing here. And the pace car is off. Wesley Carter will lead them to the green flag. Green flag is out. Wesley Carter waiting for that green flag, and it looks like he might have spun his tires there, almost getting up and into Alex Pelican in that 13 car. That opens up the door for Tristan Haynes to take it 3 wide for second now. Pelican and Dominic's almost touch. And they'll get it sorted out when it's all said and done. Jonathan Dominics comes out of there in second. Alex Pelican in third. Tristan Haynes in fourth. And here comes that 17 of Josh Edmonds going to work on Joseph Truskowski. So James Price, Edmonds is not out of this one yet either. Edmonds going to have to back off as Joseph Truskowski trying to make his way up to the front, currently sitting fourth. See Mike Hill out of line there. And looking back towards the front, Dominic's trying to put that pressure on Wesley Carter. Wesley Carter continuing to pull away, but Dominic's not going anywhere. And back in the pack, Nicholas Warner on the move here. He is back up to 8th. Dawson Price back in this as well. He caught some damage here early on, but knocking on the door of the top 10 is Dave Mayberry and Nicholas Warner battling it out in front of him. And a quick update on the weather, guys. That outside air temperature has dropped down to 68 from the 75 we saw during practice. So that sun has gone down. The lights are now on. That track is going to be a lot cooler than we had in the middle of the day. Things are changing here. Dominic's working his way around Wesley Carter. Carter up there on the outside. It looks like Carter may have used up a little bit more tire than Jonathan Dominic's shifting there. If I'm Wesley Carter, I got to be thinking about pitting here early on and getting some fresh tires on that car. You don't want to go too early and we get another caution that's going to mess up that strategy. But if we do have to go to pit road under green flag conditions, Carter needs to be the first on if he wants a shot at winning this. And Stephanie Hill entering the chat, cheering on Mike Hill back there in 13th. Caution is out. And it's Carter who's around. There in the middle of the front stretch, Wesley Carter goes around. We'll go back, take a look, see what happened here. Carter battling with Alex Pelican. We're going to back that up. I want to look at that from Alex Pelican's point of view. Because I don't know if Pelican actually got into Wesley Carter. I think Carter moved up in front of him. And that dirty air. And you guys saw it there. Alex Pelican did not get into Wesley Carter before he got loose there. It looked like that air coming off of those two cars just sucked that rear end around on Wesley Carter there. And he's going to get sideways. And unfortunately, Alex Pelican, nowhere to go, is going to turn Carter. So pit stops have begun. Josh Edmonds, Dave Mayberry, Nick Hames, Seth LaCroix, Russell Abbott, and Wesley Carter coming down pit road. Another look at it here for what. So the good thing here, Wesley Carter looks like no one getting into that 23 car. He's able to keep it off the wall. And James Price saying, great driving, they didn't wreck. So Carter is going to live to fight another day. He's currently being scored in 18th after that one. But we've seen that speed out of Wesley Carter. We're going to see what he can do here. He is on those fresh tires. And Jonathan Dominic's Alex Pelican all the way back to, it looks like, Nicholas Warner have not pitted since lap 76. So maybe they know something we don't know here at Rebel Racing Network on the fuel strategy. But if our calculations are correct, they will need another pit stop to make it to the end on this one. I think these guys up front right now are banking on another caution coming out before the end of this one. So Jonathan Dominics will be your leader. Alex Pelican in second. Tristan Haynes in third. Joseph Truskowski will restart fourth. And David Joyner is going to round out your top five. And the pace car is off. We're getting ready to go back green flag racing here. Green flag is out. Jonathan Dominic's going to go. Tristan Haynes getting an excellent start there. He's to the inside of Alex Pelican. Not sure if he's going to be able to hang on to it. He is not. Joseph Truskowski going around to Haynes. Truskowski now to third, but here comes David Joyner. And looking back in the pack, Omar Rodriguez Jr. on the move here. He's now going around Tristan Haynes. Haynes, not the restart he wanted. He is dropping like a rock. He is back to 8th now. And James Price could be excited because here comes Omar Rodriguez Jr. and Dawson Price. They are knocking on the door of the top 5 here. We got 3, even 4 wide racing back in the pack. Currently looking at the 27 of Mike Hill trying to make his way back up to the front. And look who it is. If I'm not mistaken, that was Wesley Carter down there. Carter right back into the thick of things. Carter restarted back there in 19th. Already up to 13th. He is showing a lot of speed here. Still 40 laps left in this one. And as we go back towards the front of the pack, Jonathan Dominic still holding off Joseph Truskowski. Dominic's holding off Alex Pelican. David Joyner getting alongside Truskowski. The battle is on for third now. And Omar Rodriguez Jr. now back into the top 5. He's worked his way by Joseph Miller. Dawson Price looking to do the same here. And Joyner is going to clear Truskowski. Truskowski now dropping back to 4th. He's got a mirror full of Omar Rodriguez Jr. We right along on the nose of Rodriguez. And moving up to David Joyner, he is putting that pressure on Alex Pelican. Joyner looking to go back-to-back here in the opening 2 weeks of the Era Cup Series. Joyner with a great run there on the bottom. He's going to try and squeak up in front of Pelican. Not quite there. Pelican moving down the track in front of David Joyner, though. And Truskowski moving backwards here, it seems like. Omar Rodriguez Jr. filling up his rear view mirror. Truskowski going to try and get a run on the bottom on David Joyner. Not quite there for Truskowski. And here comes Omar Rodriguez Jr. to the outside of that 57 car. He's got the run. Look for Rodriguez Jr. to complete the pass here. And he does. He gets the run off the top side. Rodriguez Jr. to 4th now. Truskowski had a mirror full of Joseph Miller. It looks like Truskowski may have gotten a little bit out of shape there. The same deal with the aerodynamics. Oh no, Joseph Truskowski wanted to come down pit road. He needs some fresh tires on that here on lap 102. Truskowski going to pit early here. And speaking of fresh tires, Wesley Carter in that 23 car now up to 9th, continuing to show speed now that he has found his line. And we're going to ride along on the nose here of Wesley Carter. You hear that? You could hear it right there as he came off that corner. He is shifting from 4th into 5th. So he is continuing to shift throughout this one, and it has paid off thus far. And look at his last lap pace. He is about at least a tenth of a second faster than everyone in front of him, and over 3/10 of the guys behind him. But back to the front, Alex Pelican has just taken over the lead from Jonathan Dominics. David Joyner looking to follow along. Dominic's going to cross over. Cannot get to the inside. David Joyner is there, though. And here comes Omar Rodriguez Jr. as well, and Dawson Price back into the top 5. So Alex Pelican trying to put that car exactly where Jonathan Dominics wants to go. Dominics going down to the inside. He's got a run there. Dominic's on the inside, and it looks like we've got a 3-way battle for the lead. David Joyner looking to get a nose here in the middle. but Omar Rodriguez Jr. going to get alongside Joyner. Joyner's going to fall in line behind Pelican as Pelican goes down to block Omar Rodriguez Jr. I tell you what, it has got to be challenging for these guys up front right now. They are playing offense and defense at the same time. Constantly jockeying for position. Now Omar Rodriguez Jr. to the inside of Dominic's. Rodriguez Jr. is there. And out of that whole group, I think he is the only driver that was thinking all offense through that series of events. He said, I'm getting by these guys. Not worried about where everyone else is behind him. He's got his eyes forward, and he is going to take over the lead here. And they've got it sorted out single file. So now Rodriguez Jr. is your leader. Jonathan Dominic's in second. Alex Pelican in third. Dawson Price is going to move to fourth as he makes his way by David Joyner. And Joseph Miller looking to get back into the top five back there in sixth as he goes around that three of Nicholas Warner. Now down to 28 laps to go. Omar Rodriguez Jr. still leading this one. I tell you what, guys, we're going to go ahead and pull Hunter Geyer up into the booth as he unfortunately sitting on pit road for the majority of this one, but he has been active with his teammates there. Listen to what's going on. Hunter, any insight as to what's going on with the cars on track right now?
Really, we're just kind of working through this fuel and tire run. Probably gonna come down for tires here soon. Yeah, I mean, it's been a rough one for door to door. Been pretty strong, throughout the race, but just bad luck here and there. It's kind of ruined a little bit. But Joe's running fourth right now, running pretty strong, and yeah, we just gotta stay out of the crap,
Yep, very unfortunate for you. Sunk Track was in the chat wondering why you were on pit road every time he comes in here. But I do have to ask, though, I noticed something about those door-to-door paint schemes. You guys are all running monster paint schemes. Where'd y'all get those paint schemes from?
That's from birdwraps.com. That's myself, but it was actually Tristan Haynes' idea. He wanted a monster paint before the start of the season, and I just kind of was like, you know what, we have four guys here, and then AFR came along with Stanford and Carter, Wesley Carter, and I was like, you know what, we can have 6 different monster flavors out there, all different themes, and yeah, we all chose a flavor that we like, and I was able to make a pretty good paint for them all. So they're looking pretty good looking cars out there. So I am proud about that.
They are looking pretty good. And honestly, I'm sitting up here in the booth a little bit thirsty, but I'll let you get back to your team. Sounds like y'all got some strategy to discuss. Thank you for taking a moment to talk to us.
Yeah. Have a good one, Austin.
Thank you, you too. All right, that was Hunter Geyer. He's been out of this one, but he has moved to the top of the pit box and crew chiefing for his guys. It looks like only 6 cars staying out so far. Nicholas Warner leading the pack, but here comes Josh Edmonds. Edmonds going to work his way by, as well as Connor Price in that 48. And Joseph Miller now coming down pit road in that monster rehab Ford Mustang. Currently looking at Tristan Haynes there in 4th. He tries to hold off Eric Rodeman. Rodeman, not someone we've talked about a whole lot here tonight, but he is up to 5th now, 19 positions up from where he started. As Edmonds leads the way, his teammate Connor Price behind him. Connor Price a lap down here. While they are still working together, Nicholas Warner back there in 2nd, Russell Abbott in 3rd, Tristan Haynes in 4th, Eric Rodeman in 5th. And only 5 cars still have yet to pit here. And looking back in the pack, at that lead pack, Jonathan Dominics and David Joyner out here together, racing each other. Dominics will go back to the lead once pit stops cycle through here. David Joyner putting that pressure on him. They both had a great pit stop. I do believe they only took 2 tires. We were riding along with Alex Pelican. Looks like he's had an internet issue. Just as we went to him. So we'll go back to Dawson Price, who's got the pressure being put on him from Wesley Carter. And Ben Smith Sr. entering the chat, letting us know he was too many laps down to get back on the lead lap. War Eagle and Kyle Capps rooting for Rodeman. Rodeman coming down pit road here. And Rodeman now exiting the pits, not the pit stop he was looking for. He is back to 18th after that one. Edmonds still leading the pack. Nicholas Warner and his teammate, a lap car, Connor Price in tow. Russell Abbott going to bring it down pit road here. Tristan Haynes will go by. And Jonathan Dominics now pulling away from David Joyner. And checking in with Wesley Carter. He's been trying to go to work on that 24. Dawson Price hasn't been able to get by him yet. Time winding down here, only 18 laps left in this one. So now Nicholas Warner is going to come down pit road, as well as Russell Abbott. Josh Edmonds and Connor Price still holding strong out there. I think Edmonds at this point is waiting for a caution, hoping that it comes out. And not sure what happened to Alex Pelican, but he is off track. Does appear that there was a connection issue. And Joseph Truskowski looks like he got into some trouble somewhere along the way, and he's been shown a meatball flag. And we will be looking forward to seeing you next week at Phoenix, Ben. And Nicholas Warner back out on track, being shown a lap down. It looks like he's only taken 2 tires. Jonathan Dominics catching up to him, though. So we thought Dominics was going to cycle through to the lead, but Warner may be able to hold Dominics off here. Warner's showing some speed. He hasn't been running with the likes of Jonathan Dominics and David Joyner up front all night, but hanging around there in the top 10. And pit strategy may play a huge factor into Nicholas Warner's finish here. Only 16 laps left to go. Edmonds is still going. And just an update, Edmonds last pitted on lap 90. So Edmonds should be good on fuel. And we're going to real quick take a listen to the Apex Racing radio. And just quiet concentration there right now.
This sucks. Roger that.
Hey, Austin.
Hello.
All right. And it appears that they've noticed that the broadcaster has snuck into the radio channel, trying to listen to what's going on with the strategy here. But I've got to ask, since you guys have noticed, is Josh Edmonds good to go on fuel?
Depends on how if the session makes it the full time or not.
All right.
We got rain inbound.
Rain inbound.
All right, I appreciate that.
There was a miscalculation here on the race, so
Yeah.
it's going to end in 7 minutes.
Ooh.
It looks like I'm going to be short though still, but.
All right, so there you go, guys. Rain is, we're going to call it rain is inbound in the forecast, but a miscalculation on the time here for this session. Going a little bit long, so Joshua Edmonds hoping for the rain. Seven minutes. We have 12 laps to go. They are currently running about 40 seconds per lap. So Dominic's, though, getting by Nicholas Warner now. They're 3 wide back there. As Dominic's just trying to get his lap back. It looks like an issue out of James Hartley here. We go back and take a look, see what happened here. Hartley off the pace, looks like maybe a mechanical issue for him. So that pack now has developed. Jonathan Dominic's trying to get his lap back. And Dominic's has got to get that lap back, because if we do get a caution and he does get a lucky dog, that's just going to help Edmonds save fuel. And Dominic's would have to start from the rear of the field. Now down to 10 laps to go. And Edmonds now coming down pit road. So Jonathan Dominic's just has to get around one more time. Edmonds got to be thinking, he's thinking about a splash and go right now. You see Edmonds there on pit road. Jonathan Dominic's the 45 there on the track map. And it looks like Dominic's going to be able to get by Edmonds. Edmonds not enough time to get back up to speed as Dominic's is going to come around. So Jonathan Dominic's going to take over the lead here. And Edmonds is stuck behind the 8 of James Hartley exiting pit road. Hartley was slow getting off of pit road. That's going to kill Joshua Edmonds' momentum. He's going to drop back to 7th here. Down to 8 to go. Jonathan Dominic's in control of this one. David Joyner's got to get there fast. His time is continuing to wind down in this one. Down to 7 to go now. And looking at our race timer, it appears we're sitting at 1 hour 52 minutes here. I'm not sure if it was planned for 1 hour and 55 or 2 hours. But it is going to come down to the wire here. And look who has made his way back up to the front. Wesley Carter currently running 3rd. And he is putting that pressure on David Joyner. Looking at the pit strategy, these guys all last pitted lap 109 to lap 110. Now down to 6 laps to go in this one. Edmonds back up to 4th now. He is on those fresh tires. We thought he was done for after getting stuck behind that 8 car. But he has caught the top 3. Keep your eye on that 17 of Edmonds. 5 laps left in this one. They're getting bunched up. Carter's putting that pressure on Joyner. Now I think Edmonds is at least going to be able to salvage a 2nd place finish here. Edmonds to the inside of Carter now. He's got that position. Only David Joyner and Jonathan Dominic's left in front of him. 5 laps to go in this one. James Price saying it looks to be a good points day, 4th, 6th, and 7th. And yeah, we've got a little bit of delay from the live stream to YouTube, so James may be speaking too soon as Edmonds goes around 2nd place, gets around David Joyner, and is his sight set on Jonathan Dominic's. Almost 20 lap fresher tires for Joshua Edmonds as he's to the inside. Dominic's runs him low, but Edmonds going back to the lead. 3 laps to go. And Edmonds right now looks like he is on rails with those fresh tires. Dominic's trying to keep up with him, but I don't think he's going away. And look out, because here comes Omar Rodriguez Jr. too. He is part of that Apex Racing group. He's got some speed trying to get by Wesley Carter and David Joyner. Carter and Joyner side by side, and they are not giving each other any room. Carter cutting through the inside there. It looks like an issue out of Wesley Carter here. All right, and it looks like the rain has arrived. And we do end up just a few laps short. So Joshua Edmonds going to take away the win. Jonathan Dominics finishing second. David Joyner in third. All right, and we are waiting on David Joyner. David Joyner just joining the booth. Is Joshua Edmonds going to burn it down there in victory lane? And he has got to be excited about this one. What a way to steal a win away. Edmonds involved in a couple of issues early on. Did not look like it was going to be the best race for him. And he comes out of nowhere to take away the win. And as he continues his celebration, we are going to speak with David Joyner, driver of that number 85. David, it's Austin up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, man. Congratulations on the top three. And, you guys put on a show for us there at the end. You and Wesley Carter, you were able to hold them off. Take us through that battle.
Oh, yeah. Like, he got into my door with like 2 to go, and I saved it. I'm happy about the save, so I was able to get the 3rd position.
All right. Well, so it looked like you guys were beating and banging all the way down to the wire. Honestly, y'all had me so excited. I completely missed the white flag there. I thought we still had another 2 laps to go, but definitely looked like some beating and banging. Are there any hard feelings with that beating and banging, or is it just good hard racing?
No, I early in the race I did have contact with Seth and ended his race, and I didn't really mean to do that. Got really tight, so I apologize to Seth if he's listening. So.
All right. Well, I'm sure Seth is listening. We're going to let you go ahead and get on out of here to celebrate that 3rd place finish. Before we do, anyone you want to thank?
Thank all my family and the friends that are watching, and catch you next week.
All right. We appreciate it, buddy.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too.
And once again, that was David Joyner coming home 3rd. We're going to go ahead and move on to our 2nd place finisher, Jonathan Dominics. Jonathan, it's Austin up in the booth. You got me?
I gotcha.
All right, man. Welcome back to the Rebel Racing Network. We're glad to see you over here in Era now.
Thanks, man.
No problem. Take us through those about the last 10 laps. We had talked to Josh Edmonds in the middle of that run, trying to figure out if he was good to go on fuel or not. And we were informed that they were worried about the time on the session running out. We're calling it rain coming in here and it having to end early, and he was just trying to stretch it out, thinking he'd have enough fuel to make it to the session, the end of the session, not the end of the race. And then kind of comes out of nowhere. Take us through what went through your mind when you saw him coming in your rearview mirror after that pit stop.
I'll be honest, man, I didn't even see him coming in my rearview mirror until he was right behind me. He went into the pits there, and I was behind him. And at that point, I didn't think he'd be able to catch back up. So I thought it was just going to be me and the 85 battling it out. And then, a couple laps to go, I look up, don't see him, and then, right before the white flag, I look up, and he's right in my rearview mirror, and I knew he was faster than me with some fresher tires on, so I really couldn't do much, and I tried my best to send it into turns 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and just didn't work out.
Well, got to be a little bit frustrated, but I got to ask, how important were those fresh tires tonight? It seemed like at the beginning of the race when that sun was out, we saw a bunch of drivers coming down, only taking 2 tires, while some were taking 4, and even some drivers staying out under caution, the early cautions, and being able to compete with those drivers on 4 fresh tires. How important were they?
I wouldn't necessarily say the fresh tires are as important as the clean air. I mean, tire fall off here was less than a second, so it wasn't too crazy. But the clean air was definitely something you wanted to be fighting for.
All right, and we definitely saw that here tonight. Some of our leaders struggling when they get back in the pack. We appreciate you taking the time to talk to us. We're going to let you get on out of here and celebrate that second place finish. Before we do, anyone you want to thank?
Just thanks to Seth and the guys for, inviting me into the league. It's good racing with them again. Good to see you, Austin.
Always good to see you too, Jonathan. Glad to have you over here, buddy.
Thanks, man.
No problem, but we'll let you get on out of here. Congratulations again, and have a good night.
Thanks, you too.
Thank you. All right, and once again, that was Jonathan Dominics. We're going to move on to tonight's winner, and feels like we were just talking to him only about 10 minutes ago. Josh Edmonds. Josh, it's Austin up in the booth. You got me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, man. Congratulations on a win. How does it feel? And we do apologize. It looks like the session has kicked us out at this point, so we're not going to be able to update everything here. But how does it feel to take home the win here tonight, Josh?
It feels good. It's been, I feel like a long time coming. I've had speed at some tracks and not been able to put it together, or screwed up my pitch strategy, or got myself into some damage. So, it feels good to be, at the top of the podium. Took a little strategy, took, some help from my teammates, talking through some strategies and figuring out how we were going to pull it off. I feel for Seth getting damaged early. He was really fast. He probably had a good chance at the race. Same with a couple of the other Apex guys. So, but hey, one of us brought it home, so.
And that's what's important. I know Donald Bucier's up in the chat, excited. He said it's about time. James Price, really excited. He said it was going to be a good points day with y'all taking 4th, 6th, and 7th. And that was before he saw you charging to the front there. And Lee LaCroix is well cheering you on. So a lot of fans
like to thank all those guys. That's my dad and Seth's dad and Dawson and Connor's dad. So our moms watch too. Thank everybody for coming out watching us. They get a kick out of what we're doing out here. And thank you. You put on a great broadcast. That's what keeps them coming back. So yeah, it was interesting having the 2 tires on the car there. I think it was the best it ran all night. I haven't looked at the lap times yet, but I'm willing to bet those last 5 laps might be my fastest of the race. So for some reason the car was rotating in 3 and 4 way better with just those 2 on that run there. So I saw him coming. Like I saw me closing the gap, and I'm like, well, here's the time to win it if I just hammer down.
Well, and you talked about your strategy here, but we spoke to you in the middle of that last run. Was that really did you think that strategy was going to bring home the win here in that fashion?
So no, I did not. What was supposed to happen was my pit was supposed to be just a splash of gas. I was going to push it as long as I could, which was what I did, and then get a splash of gas and try to spend the least amount of time on pit road as possible. Just the way the air and the lap times were, I didn't think it was going to make that big of a difference with the tires. But boy, am I glad that I accidentally got 2 tires, and that put me further back in the field, put me in 7th. I was hoping to come out of the pit still in 1st. But hey, it all worked out because the car was ripping at that point. So I was able to drive back around those top 6 cars and get back out front.
Well, I know you're excited, and I know you want to get out here and celebrate. That was probably one of the longest burnouts we've seen here on the Rebel Racing Network. Before we let you get on out of here, though, anyone else you want to shout out?
Just all the Apex guys. We're having a lot of fun, and I got Russ Abbott out here racing with us now, and a lot of good guys in the league that are out here. We're having a good time. People are not letting the little racing incidents tempers flare. So, thanks to all the people that are tuning in, watching, but thanks to all the league racers that are coming out here and trying to have fun and race and make it competitive and drive each other tough, but not use each other up too much. So it's actually been some really good racing so far.
All right. Well, we appreciate it, buddy, and we'll let you get on out of here. Congratulations again.
All right. Thank you, Austin.
All right. Thank you.
See you.
Yeah. All right, and once again, that was Joshua Edmonds taking home the win. And we do apologize for the graphics. iRacing has kicked us out of the session with the race time running out, but we still have our graphics to get you these official race results. Once again, Joshua Edmonds took home the win. Jonathan Dominics in second. David Joyner finishes third. Wesley Carter in fourth. Omar Rodriguez Jr. will come home fifth. Nicholas Warner finishes sixth. Dawson Price finishes seventh. In eighth, we had Joseph Miller. Dave Mayberry finishes ninth. In 10th, Curtis Stanford. Cooper Liardi comes home in 11th. Mike Hill in 12th. Seth LaCroix will finish 13th. Eric Rodman in 14th. Nick Hames finishes 15th. Sheldon Phillips in 16th. Russell Abbott will finish 17th. 18th was Tristan Haynes. In 19th, we had Chris Jones. James Hartley finishes 20th. Connor Price in 21st. Joseph Truskowski will finish 22nd tonight. Alex Pelican in 23rd. Ben Smith Sr. will finish 24th. Tyler Green finishes 25th. In 26th, we had Hunter Geyer, and Dalton Steele did not make the start of the race. He comes home in 27th. Once again, I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in as well. We really appreciate you guys keeping the chat lively and delivering some of our highest ratings so far on the Rebel Racing Network. So big shout out to the fans. But I gotta ask, please hit that like, follow, subscribe button if you have not done so already, because we want to keep growing. We really appreciate y'all, and we will see you guys back here next on Wednesday night for the TCR Esports O'Reilly Auto Parts Series live from Kansas Speedway. That's going to be a good one. And then we will be back here next Sunday evening for the American Esports Racing Association, coming to you from Phoenix Speedway. Once again, guys, thank you so much, and we will see you back here on Wednesday. Have a good evening.